How can you these days not have an opinion on what's going on in the Middle East? Even though I remember since I was a little kid, I remember Israelis and Palestinians were at each other's throat. Our opinion for or against either parties here really doesn't matter. I've learned long ago that people have their opinion formed, solid, in concrete, and they never change, like lifelong Democrat voters. No matter what happens, no matter who's presented to them, as long as there's a D after their name, they vote for him. Hey, they voted for John Fetterman and Joe Biden. But let's go back to the main subject here. Palestinians and Israelis. You know, just because we don't like history, it does not mean we have the right to change it. I have no horse in this game. I am of background of neither of these groups. But I know one thing, again, fact. Palestinians, let's talk about Palestinians first. They do not want a two-state solution. Palestinians want all Jews gone somewhere. Some of them say they want all of them to be unalive. Some of them say they want them to be moved to someplace in Africa. Others say they want them to be thrown into the sea. Bottom line is, neither side are innocent angels. You know, in the country of Iran, where a terrorist Islamic extremist dictatorship has been occupying that country since 1979, no thanks to Jimmy Carter, there is a ruthless Islamic terrorist government that continuously reminds the public that they are the representative of God, that anyone who opposes them is enemy of God and must be executed, and they do execute them. And then they go to their home of the parents of the children, young children that they have just made unalive. They ask them to pay for the cost of the bullet. And they further threaten them that if they talk to the media or if they say bad things about the government having, made their child unalive, they will do the same thing to their other kids. That's their way of continuing to stay in power. And when there are mass protests, they bring in Palestinians and also Lebanese to squash the protests because the countrymen, soldiers, whatever security forces sometimes refuse to make their own brothers and sisters unalive. So neither side are angels, believe me. But I know you have your opinion and you have your own beliefs and you have your own sides and you have 1,000,001 reason to convince yourself that you are absolutely right and anyone who's against you is mad. But the Palestinians dream of all Israelis being gone and will never happen, in my view. You know, again, just because we don't like history, it does not give us the right to change it. The fact is, Jewish religion was introduced to the world before Christianity and before Islam. So the land really does not belong to anyone. But if you're saying that, hey, it belonged to us before 1945, well, the Jews were there long before that. But again, you have your own opinion and no one can change it, and God be with you. But they will never be gone. And you know what? The reality is, land belongs to whoever has more power to take it. Look at Russia. You think that Ukraine is the first country that Russia invaded and annexed? No, they did it to Georgia, they did it to Chechnya, they did it to a bunch of other places. And if they could, they do it to more places. The scary thing is, if these groups, Hamas, which I separate from the normal, decent Palestinians, Hamas is basically a murderous terrorist organization, in my view, based on what I've seen. Ask yourself this question: if they had access to more deadly weapons, would they use it? Would they hesitate to use it? If the people who did 9/11 had access to more deadly weapons, like the one Oppenheimer made, do you think they would hesitate to use it? In many ways, what these Islamic extremists, for example, in the country of Iran, the ones who have occupied that country since 1979, if they could do more harm, if they could be more organized and, eliminate more of their enemies, like the guys did in 1939 to 1945 in Germany, they wouldn't hesitate to do it. The fact is, they do not have the intelligence, they do not have the organization, and they do not have the know-how to eliminate their enemies more effectively and faster, because they're throwing everything they got at anyone who opposes them. So what can we do? There's nothing we can do except watch our TVs, have our own opinion, and say, damn this group, damn that group. Whatever you believe, God be with you. You know, conflicts in the world will go on forever. They will never be solved. You think there's a problem is limited to Palestine and Israel? I could name you right now 40 other hotspots in the world where they're fighting over territory or religious rights or border lines or having their own independence. They're countless. They're countless, probably more than 60 right now. So these things will go on. You know, they kept asking me, hey, what's your opinion on this? Well, this is my opinion. But I separate opinion from facts. You cannot argue, you cannot change facts just because you don't like it. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. So sit back and enjoy the show. You know, hopefully this will end soon and innocent people will stop being unalived for no reason, because in the end, nothing will change. Wars really don't change anything. All the best.